Hi everybody. Happy Wellness Wednesday. My hair looks really big. I'm sorry until I started this live. My name is Eliza Bacote. I'm one of the leaders in the group. I'm a nurse practitioner. I'm also a certified wellness practitioner, and I'm here to talk to you guys about emotions and sleep in our children. So emotions, let's just start with that because that can be a little bit less straightforward, right? Depending on the age of your child. And remember, when we talk about kids, we're talking about a year and over. So we leave babies for a completely separate month, which has already been done. And so if you're searching anything for babies, make sure and put babies in the search category in our group, and that will pull up and help you find the information you need. But when we talk about kids, we're really talking about over the age of 1. So emotions happen a lot in that age group, right? Children are typically in different types of developmental stages, and they have typically a harder time dealing with their emotions. They don't know how to process their emotions, how to describe and express what they're feeling sometimes. They may be feeling angry or sad or scared or nervous or anxious, and they can't really label those emotions. So what's really cool about how we use essential oils in helping kids deal with their emotions is we actually learn to help them attach and label what they're feeling and get down to the root cause. Now, I will say this, when your child is having a tantrum, that's not the time to go through that sort of methodical process of how are you feeling? What are you feeling? Why do you feel that way? What about that makes you feel that way? It's really just like a crisis moment. And this is what I do typically in a crisis moment. So we've talked a lot this week about the kids blends, Steady and the Calmer blend. I love to mix up my own blends for this. I use a lot of Magnolia in our home. So Magnolia Touch is great for that too. I have a Happy blend in here that I use. Orange and lavender because kids love citrus oils. And so typically when we are mid-tantrum, what I have been known to do in the past is actually I don't even touch them at all. I just take a roller bottle, typically a calming one, and you guys saw a recipe that I love to use that I posted earlier this week that has vetiver in it and some cedar wood. That's a great one. And I just literally rub it back. Not rub it, but I literally just kind of waft it back and forth underneath their nose. And literally just keep doing that. Like I used to do this with my daughter when she would be kicking and screaming on the floor. And at first, she would get even angrier because she would see me sort of engage with her. And they literally can't control themselves. As soon as they take a deep breath in, they smell it, and she would typically calm down, or she'd want to smell it more. And then that's when you have kind of the time that they're peaceful and calm, and you can have the invitation or ask them, can I rub some on your back? Can I rub some on your feet? And it sort of invites the door to kind of applying oils topically. Typically, mid-tantrum is a really tough time to apply oils topically. For your older kids, maybe when they've grown out of tantrums, this is a really, really awesome opportunity for you to explore emotional wellness with your children. You guys saw some of the PDFs that I posted yesterday. Those are great to sit down and do with your kids that are a little bit older. Really helps them explain and understand their emotions, and then know how to use oils to handle those different emotions. So it's really a great conversation starter with your child. And as you guys saw me post, we educate our children on so many different things, right? They learn math, science, history, writing, arithmetic, all these different things, right? But how much education do they really get on their emotions and their body? How to care for their body, how to care for their mind, how to take care of their mental wellness. And this is really something that I feel very strongly about, just in the general wellness spectrum, that we are not teaching our children enough about how to care for their minds, their spirits, and their bodies. And this should be part of typical education. So it's why I found that, sorry, time change here. It's why I posted that for you guys, because I think that's just a really cool thing, especially if you guys are homeschooling your children or doing virtual school. This is something you can do. And if you're not doing that, it's something you can do on the weekends, a great little exercise. And then it teaches them about the oils that they can use. So you really can engage your children that are older than the toddler age in this process, and learning how to mix different blends, learning how to use a lot of the kids blends. Those kids blends are great for kids all the way up, really, I think, to the age of like 14 or 15 and beyond. Like, I use some of them for myself. I use the Calmer blend a lot. You know, getting them a little case is something they will probably love. Taking oils to school with them and using them for that. So some of our top blends for emotions that you've seen me post this week are the Steady blend, because it does have that magnolia in there, but it also has some tree oils. So Steady is like the balance for kids. And certainly kids can use balance. It's diluted in the bottle already, so that's awesome. They can use Citrus Bliss. They can use Elevation for uplifting. These are great study oils too. They can use Calmer. That's a great one for sleep and nighttime, right? Down the spine and on the feet, making that ritual part of the bedtime. We'll talk about bedtime as we go into sleep for kids. And then don't forget about the Brave blend. The Brave blend is also an emotional kids blend. It's used as more of an uplifting, empowering blend. And so the Calmer and the Steady are more of sort of like kind of take everything down a notch, and the Brave is sort of like empower and uplift them. It has some citrus oils in there, and it is awesome for uplifting and empowering kids. So don't forget about the Brave blend. We didn't talk about a lot about it this week, because when we talk about emotions, we're usually trying to dial everybody down, right? Serenity blend. Also another great one. I keep a Serenity blend mixed up in my little bag for my kids, perfectly diluted, because it's awesome. It has all the sleep oils in it, but I use it as a calming agent too, because it does have some vetiver in there. So that's a great go-to as well for emotions. So check out that emotional toolkit that I posted yesterday, and a little exercise you can do with your kids. You can print those off. It's got an emotions wheel, and it shows you which oils to use for what. And it's great to just post on your refrigerator, especially when you're going through some tough stuff. You know, what I like to do with my kids, I don't try and change their feelings. I don't try and talk them out of it. Like, my daughter will come to me and she'll say, "William hit me." And I'm like, "Sorry, guys." I'm like, "Wow, really? I mean, how did that make you feel, Emmeline?" And she'll tell me, "It made me feel sad, or it made me feel mad, or whatever." And I'm like, "Wow, it's really good that you know exactly how it made you feel. Now we know we don't want to do that to anyone else, because we wouldn't want someone else to feel that way, right? And so how are we going to handle this, you know?" But the first thing I always do is ask them, "How did that make you feel?" That way they can identify how they feel. And they're cataloging that emotion, and they're understanding what that emotion feels like. It's really, really teaching them emotional wellness and emotional awareness. Not just wellness, not just how to recover from the emotion, but you're really giving them insight into how to label their emotions and what they're feeling. And then you help them cope through it positively, right? With all the different tools with emotions and oils that we've talked about this week, all the different solutions, right? And the go-to is this. If they're mad, angry, grounding blend, right? Grounding blend, Steady. If they are hyperactive, angry, frustrated, calming oils like magnolia, lavender, Calmer, Serenity blend, sad, depressed, just sort of out of it. Citrus oils are the way to go. Uplifting, Brave, Citrus Bliss, Elevation. Those are going to be your top mood oils for kids related to kind of sadness or just not wanting to get started with their day, or sort of feeling bogged down. And so frustration is a common emotion in kids, especially nowadays. My son's doing virtual school as we live abroad, and he is frustrated sometimes. So frustration, a great one actually is the Forgive blend. It's got lots of tree oils in it. It's perfectly diluted in the Touchline. And so that's one we didn't talk about a lot, but has really worked for him in the past to kind of help reset that frustrated thermostat to where he's not feeling so frustrated. So that's emotions in kids. Now let's talk about sleep. So sleep is so important, right? The more our kids sleep, the more we sleep, which is what we want. So top oil blends for that are going to be Serenity in the diffuser. I love to add extra vetiver to this because vetiver is the oil of tranquilizer. You can use it for kids. You only need 1 to 2 drops. Serenity blend. Topically, do the trifecta here. If your kid's over 8 years old, they can have 1 Serenity soft gel. If they're under that age, I typically don't use anything internal, but I do use aromatic and topical. My kids are not old enough for that yet. At night. So we're using topical oils on the feet, diffusing at the bedside. Bedtime routine is key. I use the Serenity bath bar because that gets that Serenity smell going for them, that calming scent as they take their bath or shower. Sometimes we are busy, and whenever we forget to apply oils, I typically notice it. So it's definitely that extra step you want to take. And when you're applying those oils at night, you're really solidifying them, that positive memory, that positive experience at the end of the evening. Really awesome time to do prayer time or just like a quiet mindfulness moment, and use oils to kind of do the wind down routine. The routine is everything. And again, if your child's over the age of 8, they can have 1 Serenity soft gel. That's going to be awesome for sleep and will help a ton. So I hope these tips help you guys. I hope you enjoyed our month of all about the kiddos, and you've learned some amazing tools to help you know how to use essential oils and supplements in your kids. You guys have a great Wednesday night. Thank you so much and take care.